So what are the top secrets for the Florida real estate exam? Well, we're going to get into exactly that. We actually built an entire course around secrets of the exam. This is a phenomenal course, but not necessarily something I recommend on its own, just because it's not any preparation material in terms of what you need to study, but it does help give you the right understanding of what to expect. So some of the more basic stuff, just to share with those here, we've got scheduling your exam. So super simple, but if you haven't scheduled it yet, definitely helpful. Calculator muscle memory. So we recommend having a very simple 4-function calculator, just like this Tampa School of Real Estate calculator right here. I think these are like $10 or something like that on the website if you want one. They work really well. I like them. But this is essentially what you can use for your state exam. It doesn't have to be this size. It could be bigger. It could be smaller. But it really can't be much more complex than this in most cases for your exam. No graphing calculators, scientific calculators, anything with an alphabetical keyboard. And the one thing you need to make sure you know how to do on your Tampa School calculator is turn off the beeps, because they don't let you have a beep on the exam. So you just push the little music note button right there and it turns on and off your beeps. So the point, though, of having the same calculator you practice with be the calculator that you use on your exam is the more you look at this calculator, especially if this is the calculator, you only use this calculator for studying for your exam. Every time you look at this calculator, it's going to help trigger memories of what you were studying, the math you were practicing. So using that same calculator, it will just feel comfortable and familiar to you. So that is absolutely one of my top secrets there, is the calculator muscle memory. The night before is all about getting yourself in the right mindset, getting yourself prepared. We've got a lot of great info there on that, but really, you know, basic, simple stuff, getting to bed early, nothing too crazy or eye-opening there, but definitely would still recommend you go through it. Pre-exam warm-up, so you don't want to be the exam being the first time you ever look at real estate information. This is another one of my favorite secrets here, is let's say you wake up and you just go to take the exam and you haven't opened a book, you haven't studied, you haven't done anything all day. Well, now when you're getting to the exam, this is the first time you're seeing this information. You're not warmed up, you're not ready, you're not thinking about real estate. Your mind maybe has been elsewhere. So one of my favorite things that I would recommend that could be extremely beneficial, especially if you've already been listening to the audio review. So the online audio review, it's part of our Pass First Try exam prep bundle. Same thing with the secrets of the exam course that I'm talking about right now. The audio review is actual review of content from the course, condensed down to just 5 hours. So it's extremely practical because it's very simplified, but the key is repetition. So you could drill it in again and again and again. And especially if you bookend your studying with it, you start listen to a little bit of it, and then you do some other types of review. Maybe you listen to a little bit at the end. Maybe you listen to it while you sleep. The more you build that repetition, the more you'll be confident in those basic, essential key points that you will be tested on in a much more complex, in-depth manner on your exam. But one of the great things you could do with that audio review now is, because it's so associated with you studying for the exam, is now play that on your car ride to the exam. Look, you don't want to burn yourself out on exam day. That's why I usually would recommend as early as would be normal for you. If you're not a morning person, don't schedule your exam for 7 in the morning. But, you know, if you're already up for a few hours by 7 a.m., then sure, of course, go in there as early as possible. But point being is, you don't want to be sitting around all day waiting for your exam appointment. It's not going to be the worst thing, but you will get tired just going through your daily life. So early for you, whatever that means. But before you go to the exam, listen to that audio review. Do something. Maybe you're playing some of the videos from the exam cram videos. Those are great as well, but they're going to be much more in-depth and detailed. And there's also the visual element, which is great for that more detailed review, especially for the things where the visuals help it make so much more sense and make it easier to remember. And look, if that's the thing that you spent the most time with, the exam cram videos, and what helps think about what you've been studying the most, then play that while you're on your way in. We've got the non-stop recordings available, as well as the individualized broken down section. So throw on the non-stop recording. It goes for 7 hours for each day. skip to whatever section you want and let it play. And again, the point isn't to study on that exam day, it's to warm yourself up. So what you need to bring breaks that all down in there, from having the 2 forms of idea and all that stuff. The tutorial time, this is really cool because you could actually use that time for your tutorial to help build yourself your own little cheat sheet, your own dump sheet. You're not really cheating because it's basically just what you're dumping out of your head onto paper, but extremely valuable time, especially if this isn't your first time using this computer-based testing system. So if you've taken this exam before, or whatever exam, it might have been the same computer-based testing system, you really don't need the whole 15 minutes they give you for the tutorial. So that's extra time to help get yourself ready, get yourself prepared before the actual exam begins. The exam is not your friend. Now, we go much more in depth of this in the actual course here, but really what it comes down to is how the questions can be set up to deceive you. So the people who write this exam, they're psychometricians, and they have PhDs, doctorates in test design. So these psychometricians who are designing this exam are trying to weed out. Their goal is to weed out the people who have confidence in the material taught in the pre-licensing course, what we focus in on all the review material. This is your textbook for the pre-licensing course. You can see it's pretty big here. What's on the exam? This is like 20% of that. So much more simplified, much more easy to follow. Maybe not the best for the ultimate legal sense of understanding the concept. That's where this is going to have a lot more detail, as well as a lot of other topics and further details that are not as important for your exam. And that's what we focus on in these exam cram workbooks here. And that workbook is included with the Pass First Try exam prep tools. And by the way, we have the back to school sale going on right now. We'll talk about that more a little bit in the video, but right now use promo code SCHOOL. And if you're watching the recording of this, that might not still be available. That's available right now until Sunday. So if you're watching this live with us, promo code SCHOOL is good until Sunday. Now, you want to stay positive. Don't let this test get in your head. Have a way to cope with anxiety. Find your happy Gilmore, happy place. Budgeting your time. We break down really the whole 3.5 hours that you've got there, and understanding certain checkpoints of where you want to be at so you don't stress yourself out and you don't waste your time racking your brain on a question that you're not really prepared for. One of my other favorite tips of this here, and it comes from this budgeting your time, has to do with having full access to all of the questions as soon as you start your exam. So when you start your exam, you have full access to all of the questions on the exam, and you don't have to do them in the order that you're given. So if you want to start off with the simple, basic, easy questions, just skip through until you find all those simple, easy, basic questions. But key thing I'd recommend here is not wasting a lot of time reading those long questions, thinking about those long questions if you're just going to skip them. If it looks like a long or a more complex question or just something you don't want to deal with right now, skip it, come back to it later. And that's going to help out a lot with budgeting your time, because then you're saving those most difficult, most confusing, most unknown questions for the very end. And remember, every single point, every question is just one point. They're all the same. Whether it takes you 10 minutes to solve it and figure it out, or you answer it within 30 seconds, they're all just worth 1 point. And you either get a point or don't. So at the very least, make sure you got some answer down, even if you're just blindly guessing. We also break down the Pass First Try strategy and how to use these Pass First Try exam prep tools. So number one, you do have to take the course. We have the course available in 4 different formats, but that is not necessarily the Pass First Try tools. This is what the state requires. This textbook is included with all of our instructor-led programs. This shorter 100-page workbook right here that's about 20% of the size, this is what we focus on with our exam prep tools, because it simplifies things down so much. And so along with those exam prep tools, you'll have the audio review, the question simulator, the secrets of the exam that we're talking about right now, and those exam cram videos that follow along with that workbook. There's QR codes to scan to whatever section for the simulator, for the audio review, so that workbook is very handy. And we break down how to really use those tools the best. listening to the audio review while you're going through the class. If you're still in class or you haven't started your class yet, all the more reason to have the audio review and the rest of the exam prep tools, because the audio review is a great way to prep for your live class sessions coming up. Even with the video on demand courses, you're going to find that the audio review, it's again only 5 hours versus the 60-hour more detailed pre-licensing course. So being able to review that more simplified, more condensed version of the information will help get you the repetition on the topics that are most important for the exam. And that's why you don't want to study the wrong topics, whether it's a detail that is too detailed for the exam or something that's not even a concern of the Florida Real Estate Commission and the psychometricians at the DBPR designing this exam. There's a lot of topics in there that just simply are not very likely at all to be tested. There is a fixed test bank, but it does have thousands of questions. But the catch is, many of these questions are on the same exact topics because there's certain topics that are much more highly tested. And we know that as well from the Florida Real Estate Commission's syllabus, where certain sections are just simply so many more points and questions than others. There's some units in the course that are only 1% of the exam, while other units are as much as 12% of the exam. So that's where, again, studying the right information and really what is right for you. The question simulator is an extremely powerful tool. It's not necessarily something you want to study. You don't want to study the questions, but you do want to use these questions to be able to judge your understanding and your preparedness for this exam. So how to approach the question, the best thing I could pull out of this section here is don't look at the answers until you're ready to look at the answers. Read the question. Think about the question. Understand what the question's really asking. Think back to what key points you remember that relate to this question, and then go to your answer choices. Because doing that is going to preload your head with the right information, whereas the exam is going to have 3 times the amount of wrong information compared to right information. And if you go right into looking at those answer choices on your exam, you go right into 3 times. 3 out of 4 of those are going to be wrong answers. They're going to be trying to convince you that they're right. And the thing is, if you use your own logic, you could almost talk yourself into any of these being correct. We actually call that the best answer questions. And there's a lot of those on the exam where it's none of them are really 100% correct, but it's really what is the best out of the answer choices you're given. Or a lot of them are which of the following are true or which of the following are false. And so you have to sit there and do a process of elimination. So you have scratch paper on your exam. We cover that all in the Secrets of the Exam course. So this is extremely valuable information in terms of framing and understanding how to make sure that this exam, the test itself, doesn't get in the way of you passing your real estate license exam. So we talk about the process of elimination using that. One of the other things that is huge from this here is this is only Florida real estate. The laws you learn are Florida related, some federal laws, but there's no other states that you learn about. There's no other information from other states that you need to know for your Florida real estate license exam. So this is only based on Florida real estate. And that's why you want to forget what you already know. So stick with us. We're going to take a quick break here, reset this TV that's flashing all over the place, but we'll be back in just a moment. Are you studying for your Florida real estate exam? If you are, you need to check out our Pass First Try strategy. You're going to love this. It's 4 steps that we break down the process to study for your Florida real estate exam. So you're set up to pass your Florida real estate exam because that's what you're studying for, right? To pass your exam. It's 4 steps. Number 1, you learn the information. You've got to learn this to be able to pass the exam, but it doesn't stop at learning. Step 2, you've got to reinforce the basic, simple, key concepts. As you learn this information, keep reviewing the simple things. You don't need to know everything, but you got to review these basic key concepts. Step 3, you've got to test your knowledge. The exam's going to test your knowledge, so if you don't test your knowledge in advance, you won't find out if you know what you think you know until you take the exam. And then step 4 is be confident and prepared, because even if you know this material, you need to be confident that you know the material. Check out the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. All right, welcome back. Another important tip, don't add to the question. If you have to add all kinds of extra information and variables to the question to be able to make your answer correct, you're probably talking yourself into a wrong answer. And this is probably the number one. I know I've said that a lot, but so many of these are so valuable. They can make the difference, especially if you're scoring a 70, 71, 72. You need a 75 to pass. So if you're within just a couple of points, these strategies alone could be the difference maker that help you get a couple extra points on that exam, that turn a situation where you're having to retake the exam, we won't use the F word here, versus passing the exam, getting at least the 75%. You have a huge margin of error with the 25 questions that you could get wrong, but those 25 questions do add up quickly, and this exam is not your friend. It's not designed to be your friend, so that's where these strategies will help. These strategies are your friends. These strategies will help you really understand, again, this material and how it's going to be tested. So what the question says goes. Whatever is true in the question, you assume it to be true. You're not there to argue with the question. That question has been peer reviewed many times before it's on this exam. So that question, I could almost promise you it's going to be valid. There is a dispute process if you don't think it is, but I've never heard of anybody winning one of these disputes because they research these questions extensively to make sure that they're the best version of being able to test this. Now, the wrong answer, we cover more details about that, but it's really those questions that are looking for the wrong answer, which you think you're looking for the right answer, and that trips you up so much. So we've got some strategies in there. The question clues, the desperation strategy, and what to do after the exam when you walk out of there with that passing sheet, or what to do if you do have to take that exam again. So a lot of really great tips in the Secrets of the Exam. I highly recommend that course. We're going to do a couple more things here, and we're going to be back after this short commercial break.
Have you seen what's going on in Tampa?
If you're looking to get in on the real estate action that's going on in Tampa right now, we're who you need to talk to. We can help you get your real estate license, start your real estate career. We're here to assist you for the life of your real estate career. Give us a call. Phone number is 813-928-0106, or check us out online at tampaschool.com.
Do you want to incorporate studying for your real estate exams into your busy schedule? Now you can review the key topics you need to know to pass your class and state exams with our MP3 audio review. Simply pop in your headphones or connect to your car to reinforce crucial information while you exercise or drive. Listen to the first unit for free at mp3audioreview.com. That's mp3audioreview.com.
If you're enjoying the show today, which I'm sure you are, be sure to hit like, subscribe, post your comments, share with your friends and family. Thank you guys so much for watching.
You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Now, ultimately, if you're considering the Secrets of the Exam, that is a great course. It is a great investment, but it is going to be strategy focused. Now, if you need the content to go along with the strategy, which I highly suggest, especially when we talk about simplifying down from a 500-page textbook to a 100-page workbook. And this 100-page workbook goes with the 14 hours of review videos and the exam cram videos versus the 60 hours of content here. But we have this even further condensed in the MP3 audio review, so you just log in right through the app and you can access all these. We have an app, TSRE, you just download it from Google, from the Apple Store, wherever you get apps from. TSRE, you log in on the website, you log in on the app, however you want to get in there. But that makes it easy. That makes it simple, especially with the app. You can use offline mode. So if you're going on a plane, you're in a place with bad internet, you don't want to have to worry about buffering. You can put it in offline mode and all the content gets downloaded directly to your device. So extremely beneficial if you want to make sure you can review certain sections no matter what, or review an entire course no matter what. So really cool little app that we have there, and that is how you access all the exam prep tools in the Pass First Try strategy. Now, this has been trusted by thousands of people, and once you've done your pre-licensing course, once you have this certificate of credit here for this is good for 2 years. So step one, you've got to have that course, but I recommend going with this material as you progress through the course, because step two is to reinforce along the way with the audio review. So this audio review is very condensed. Again, only 5 hours. And then you could test yourself in the simulator to see which questions you're getting right, which ones you're getting wrong, which ones you have to guess on. And then you can move into the exam cram videos for more detailed reviews. And you could actually search out certain sections, certain topics. We have these all broken down into short little videos, as well as the non-stop recordings of this right here. So that makes it very simple, very easy to get through all of this right here. That's our exam prep bundle. And we'll just head over to this page right here, which has the full details of everything that is included with this. Is available right now at the time that we're live for $197. Plus, again, use promo code SCHOOL if you're watching this live. Put that in before Sunday to get an extra discount at checkout. But all of this here, the secrets of the exam, so much more in depth. It's about 3 hours worth of explanation with visuals about these secrets and how to take advantage of them for your exam. It's like your instruction manual, and you could jump around to whichever secret you want to learn more about, or you could go through the whole thing start to finish. With this, you have 12 months of access. Now, we have one option I want to share with you here, which is TSRE Plus. So if you want to do this in 30 days, 60 days, you could actually do this with TSRE Plus for just $47 per month. So $47 per month, that's going to include this workbook right here, or if you need the course to get started, you could select this course, the 63-hour pre-licensing course, instead of selecting the exam prep tools. But if you're just getting started and you want to take my advice of having the best of both worlds, having the course that the state requires you to complete along with the simplified study guide tools that go along with this here, you could get the best of both worlds, because we'll actually ship you both of these books if you're starting out with the pre-licensing course on the Pro plan. So all you'll do is select the pre-licensing course on the Pro plan here, and you're going to get this workbook as a free bonus shipped out to you right away in your first month. So together you're getting a $90 workbook, $90 textbook. I think this is a $79 workbook, $60 workbook. So the workbooks and textbooks alone that you're getting, free shipping included with this here, are more than the cost of your first month of membership with the Pro plan. And not only do you have access to the pre-licensing and the exam prep, you'll have post-licensing in there. Once you get your license, you'll have the Real Estate Pro University that includes all of the more advanced trainings as it relates to contracts, open houses, how renters become buyers. A lot of really great information that is available in this platform here. So that's, again, $47 a month. You could select the exam prep, or $87 a month. You could get the exam prep with the actual pre-licensing, along with all access to all the Pro University, all the career development. That's for if you're serious about this, you want to take time out of the equation, dive in, make this happen as quickly as possible. But look, if you're doing this part-time and you want a year access to this, your best deal is going to be the $197 for the 12 months of access right here. And again, you get a discount at checkout here with promo code SCHOOL. So don't forget promo code SCHOOL. Put that in as long as you're watching this live and it's before Sunday. If it is the recording, as long as it's before Sunday, promo code SCHOOL will get you an extra discount off of that there, as well as anything in the catalog. Now, this exam prep here is not going to fulfill the state requirements. For that, you do need an actual licensed class, and that could be a live class or our video on-demand program. Any of these live classes that we're showing on here, again, promo code SCHOOL, you'll get an extra discount off of the full tuition. With these classes, you can also do a deposit, but if you're using that promo code, you definitely want to get the discount on your full tuition, not just the discount on your deposit. So definitely pay for that in full if you're using the promo code, so that way you get your discount on the entire tuition. But if you want to just do the $57 deposit, so you reserve your seat and then pay the balance before the class begins, you could do that as well for one of these live programs. And these are really great because they do give you in person, or even with the live online, you have the ability to network and connect with your fellow classmates as well as interact directly with the instructor. But if you can't make any of those schedules work, or you want to start right now, or you want to find out if you could do this on your own and then maybe later switch to the in-person class, you could absolutely do that as well. And that's where this on-demand version comes in. So it still includes your textbook. I will be your instructor in this program. And it's a series of short, easy-to-follow videos. There's a lot of them because we made them nice and short so you can knock out a few at a time, or even if you just have a couple minutes, you could at least do one. They're normally about 5 to 7 minutes long. And so this is $247 for 12 months access. Now, again, you could get this for $47 a month with TSRE Plus, or $87 a month, including all of the exam prep tools, or you could also bundle that right here. Now, any of the prepaid options where you're getting the 12 months in advance, you're buying it from TampaSchoolRealEstate.com, you could use that promo code SCHOOL, again, before Sunday. And this bundle here, the complete jumpstart, this is what I'd ultimately recommend. Number one, because it's going to save you the most money. And number two, you're going to have everything you need to fulfill essentially your first 2 years of requirements in real estate. Because not only are you going to have the course to get your exam, to get your license, but you're also going to have all the exam prep tools to help take time out of the equation, help you pass that exam on the first try. But further, you'll also have the post-licensing, which the big difference with post-licensing is that the focus now becomes not on the laws and rules that the focus is for pre-licensing. Pre-licensing, there's a state exam. There's no state exam for post-licensing. It now focuses much more on real-world topics that are about business planning, about marketing, about working with clients versus the legal concepts of a contract. You learn a lot about the legalities here, but the thing is the legalities aren't necessarily there to make you rich. They're there to make you understand what to do to not lose your license, to not harm your clients. That's what the laws and rules are about. You do learn some basic principles and practices in here, but they're very fundamental, and it's really just so the Real Estate Commission can determine that you have a minimal competence enough to be able to practice real estate. So the post-licensing gets much more relatable, much more understandable, much more practical, much more profitable, much more applicable. Because it's designed to be the 101 course for somebody who just got their real estate license and now needs to understand what to do with it. So again, promo code SCHOOL, make sure you use that before midnight on Sunday. That's Secrets of the Exam course. That's what we were talking about earlier with those secrets. If you have questions about anything that we covered today, about starting a real estate career, about the membership plans, you can always reach out to us, 813-333-2676. Entire catalog of prepaid courses, again, are on sale, so promo code SCHOOL. That'll get the job done. Put that in at checkout. The TSRE app, we talked about that earlier. This app is so great because it allows you to pick up where you left off anywhere. And you have offline access, so you don't have to worry about, is my internet connection good enough? Now, if you do have a live online class, you definitely want to have a good internet connection because that is live. We can't make the live offline, but all your exam prep, all your study tools, all of your digital materials, that's all available in the app to make it easy to access so you can study on the go. Whether that's listening to the audio review, doing the question simulator, however it is that you're using the platform. Maybe you're using it to learn about the open houses and lead generation and how renters become buyers in the Pro University. That's all available through the TSRE app. Now this textbook here, this is What's included with every instructor-led pre-licensing course? You don't have to buy that extra, and even if you choose the TSRE Plus plan, if pre-licensing is your course you're choosing on Select, you're going to get this textbook shipped out to you, included with your membership. There's a little sneak peek inside. This is what it looks like if you pull it up on a computer or a tablet for the course. So many short, easy to follow videos, and you just power through them, check them off. There's knowledge checks every so often to make sure that you're retaining the most important information. But you can see there's lots of visuals, lots of diagrams, a lot that's going on the screen. You have a whole set of exam review flashcards that allow you to focus on what the most important topics are for your end of course exam. And there's also a practice exam in addition to all of these knowledge checks that you will find throughout the course. Your end of course exam you'll do online. So you do this online, you complete it, we'll email you over your completion certificate, and that's what you'll take to the state testing center to show that you successfully fulfilled the requirement to get your real estate license. So you could then start taking those next steps to get the schedule flexibility, the unlimited income, being your own boss. This process that I'm explaining here can be completed in less than 30 days to get your real estate license. And that's where we see a lot of new students succeeding very quickly with our TSRE Plus program. And now you could, again, do that on a month-to-month type of basis. So any questions about that, again, the phone number is 813-333-2676. We have lots of opportunities to share with you. This is actually a photo from our last career fair. The career fair is such an amazing event, and we actually have free registration available. We're sponsoring this at the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're the presenting sponsor of the Florida Real Estate Career Fair, and we're giving away free admission. But you got to secure it. You got to get your name on the list. You got to get the free admission before it runs out. This event is not until October, so there's still some time for this, but mark your calendar, October 4th, 12 to 2 p.m. right here at our headquarters location in New Tampa. FloridaRealEstateCareerFair.com is the website. We'll have several vendors there who are actively recruiting agents for their firm, including new agents, including part-time agents. We have part-time opportunities, full-time opportunities, several different vendors that'll be in attendance, in addition to an even larger network that you'll be a part of being Tampa School of Real Estate alumni. But this is such a phenomenal event because you get to really experience it in person. And this is great. Even if you are an online student, you're doing this at your own pace, that's great. Now come on down to the career fair and get some of that in-person experience. And this is something where you can get that experience absolutely for free, but you got to get yourself registered, name, email, and phone number. We're going to have giveaways. There's going to be food and drinks, lots of great networking opportunities, so something you don't want to miss. I'll be there in attendance at the career fair, so come on down, ask me whatever questions you have personally about a real estate career. You can talk to the Tampa School of Real Estate advisors. That will have instructors there, Tampa School of Real Estate alumni, people that have been in your shoes before you. So a phenomenal event. You don't want to miss it. Again, October 4th, 2025, 12 to 2 p.m. right here, Highwoods Preserve Parkway in New Tampa. FloridaRealEstateCareerFair.com is the website. Just get your name, email, and phone number put in there. One more quick plug on the sale. So this sale is ending Sunday. Don't miss your chance to save. Use promo code SCHOOL at checkout before Sunday to lock in your discount. All of our courses, again, are on sale for the back to school sale that we've got going on right now. We want to help get you back to school, whether that's getting your real estate license with the pre-licensing course, the Pass First Try exam prep tools to help knock that exam out, the post-licensing to help jumpstart your real estate career, or if you've been licensed for at least 2 years and active with a broker, you're now eligible to get your broker license, and you could save on the broker courses as well. Any of our courses at tampaschoolofrealestate.com. Use promo code SCHOOL at checkout to lock in those savings. If you have any questions about any of the courses, anything we talked about today, the career fair, TSRE Plus, Real Estate Pro University, the exam prep, the pre-licensing, the post-licensing, getting your broker license, speak with our advising team, call into us 24/7. 813-333-2676. Again, that's 813-333-2676. 24/7. Call into us. Any way we can help you advance your real estate career. We're on a mission to create as many real estate success stories as possible, and we want you to become our next real estate success story. So any questions you have, any way we can help you out, reach out to us. Again, that phone number is 813-333-2676. That's about all the time that we've got for today. We'll be back next week for another episode of Ask the Instructor. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your day. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.